Hello students, I am Samata, lecturer in chemistry, GDC Women Hussaini Alam. In previous session we have completed that amino acids, introduction of amino acids and classification of amino acids are completed. In today's session, let us discuss physical properties and chemical properties of amino acids. In that, the first physical property of amino acid is formation of Zwitter ions. Zwitter ions means the compound which shows positive and negative charge at a time. That ion or that compound is called as Zwitter ion. Okay, in amino acids also, at a time positive charge and negative charge is possible in that compound. Okay, means acidic nature and basic nature same time in one compound, that is called as Zwitter ion. Okay, here Zwitter ions, although alpha amino acids are commonly written in the unionized form, they are more probably written in the Zwitter ion state. Okay, that is the internal salt. Both the NH2 and COOH groups in an amino acid undergo ionization in water. Okay, when amino acids are dissolved in water or when amino acids are ionized in water, NH2 and COOH groups both are ionized in water. The pH of that solution is 7.4. Okay, that indicates the Zwitter ion form, and both positive and negative charges are present, but overall solution is neutral, means amphoteric. In this Zwitter ion state, amino group is protonated and carboxylic group is deprotonated. Okay, protonated means here this is amino group NH3 plus. Okay, amino group is protonated, means NH2 receives one hydrogen and form NH3 plus. Okay, here NH3 plus is the protonated group, means it shows acidic nature. Okay, now acidic nature means that shows positive charge, and carboxyl group is deprotonated, means here COOH group, carboxylic acid group is there na. This carboxylic acid group loses one proton and get into deprotonated. Okay, deprotonated means that is COO minus. So here actually COOH is the acidic group, but that COOH group is loses one hydrogen and form COO minus. So here COO minus is the basic nature, and amine group NH2, amine is basic nature, but here amine group is protonated here, so it receives one hydrogen and form NH3 plus. NH3 plus is the acidic nature here. So here COO minus shows basic nature and NH3 plus is acidic nature. So here amino group is protonated and carboxyl group is deprotonated. At same time, minus charge and plus charge are present on amino acids. Okay, this form is called as Zwitter ionic form of amino acids, soluble in polar solvents due to ionic character. Okay, this Zwitter ion form is soluble in all polar solvents. And acid base properties of amino acids. Here this is the acidic. Here pH value is 1, and this middle compound is pH 7 and this is pH 13, means it is purely acidic compound, it is neutral compound, and it is basic compound. Okay, means here pH 1 to 7 is called as acidic nature and pH 7 to 14 is the basic nature. Okay, at constant value pH 7 is the neutral compounds. Okay, here this is the cationic form of amino acid. First here amino group get into protonated and form NH3 plus. Okay, this is the cationic form of amino acid. So in this cationic form, this amino acid is shows acidic nature, so it is the acidic amino acid. Next, here this is a zwitterionic form, means carboxylic acid group is also get into deprotonated, loses one hydrogen and forms COO minus, and here already amine group receives one hydrogen and form NH3 plus. So in this middle compound both charges are present, positive and negative, so here the pH value is 7. It is called as zwitterion or neutral compound. Next, here right side molecule is anionic form. Anionic form means here only carboxylic acid group loses hydrogen and forms COO minus. Anionic form. Anionic form means that shows basic nature. So cationic form shows acidic nature and anionic form shows basic nature, but here zwitterion shows neutral character. Okay, na, neutral, not acidic nature and not basic nature. It is a neutral molecule, that is called as zwitterion. The ionic forms of the amino acids here. Okay, this is very important topic. The physical property of amino acid or zwitterionic character of amino acids. Next, reactions of amino acids. Amino acids will undergo reactions that those are characteristics of amino acids and carboxylic amino group and carboxylic acid groups. Okay, here this is one amino acid. Okay, here this one is the amino acid. Which form of amino acid is it? It is zwitterionic form. Okay, now NH3 plus is present and COO minus is present. This zwitterionic form of amino acid react with acidic anhydride in presence of base, and it forms this compound. Okay, and here when this same compound react with ethyl alcohol CH3CH2OH followed by hydrolysis, it forms different product. Okay, these reactions due to COOH group and reaction due to amine group. Okay, reactions due to COOH group: salt formation with alkalis, ester formation with alcohols. Okay, here this is the alcoholic reaction, so here forms ester formation with alcohol reaction and salt formation with alkalis, and amide formation with amines or decarboxylations. Okay, here in this compound here amide is formed. Reactions due to NH group or NH2 group: deamination reaction with ninhydrin. Ninhydrin reagent reacts with amino group of amino acid, and it will give colored product. The intensity of blue color indicates the quantity of amino acid present. This ninhydrin can react with amino acids as proline and hydroxyproline, but it gives yellow color. Okay, this ninhydrin reaction is also useful for identification of amino functional groups in chromatography techniques also. In chromatography techniques, to identify the amino acids, we can apply the ninhydrin spray. If any amino acid is present, when we are applying ninhydrin spray, that compound will shows some colors. Okay, blue color or a yellow color, like that. That color indicates the presence of amino acids. Here also reactions due to amino group. When we are applying ninhydrin, amino group will react with ninhydrin and show some colors. Next is detecting of amino acids. Okay, this is the structure of ninhydrin. Ninhydrin is the classical reagent for detecting amino acids. Okay, already we have discussed it that ninhydrin is mainly used for the identification of amino acids or detecting of amino acids. Ninhydrin is the classical reagent for detecting amino acids. This reaction requires 2 to 5 minutes and the reaction temperature is 100 degrees centigrade and it's sensitive at the nanomolecule levels or nanomole levels. This is the ninhydrin and it is amino acid. This is the Rumen's purple colored compound is formed. Okay, here the product from mm, uh, is yellow and absorbs at 440 nanometers in spectroscopy. Okay, due to that absorbance value, we can identify that amino acid group. Okay, here what we are doing here, amino acid, we are taking amino acid mixture and applying in hydrogen spray. Here Rumen's purple color is formed. That compound will absorb 440 nanometers absorbance value in spectroscopy. Based on that values we can detect the type of amino acid. Peptides and proteins. 20 amino acids are commonly found in proteins. Okay, in first class we have discussed that in general 20 alpha amino acids are participates in biological processes and 20 amino acids are participates in protein formation or protein synthesis. Here also 20 amino acids are commonly found in proteins. These 20 amino acids are linked together through peptide bond forming peptides and proteins. Here amino acids are uh, react with each other and loses water molecule and form peptides. Okay, through when two amino acids are losing water molecule, there will be peptide bond is formed. Okay, and that due to that peptide bond, that compound is called as the polypeptide. Okay, here the combination of polypeptides is called as a proteins. The chains containing less than 50 amino acids are called as peptides, while those containing greater than 50 amino acids are called as proteins. Okay, it completely based on molecular weight of polypeptide chain. Okay, here if the polypeptide chain is containing 50 number of amino acids, then that is called as peptide. When that chain having greater than 50 number of amino acids, then those are called as proteins. Peptide bond formation. Peptide bond is the amide bond between carboxyl group and amino acid and the amino group of another. Okay, how the peptide bond is formed? This peptide bond will form between two amino acids, carboxylic acid functional group of one amino acid and amino functional group of another amino acid will participates in peptide bond formation. Okay, finally the bond is like C double bond O NH. Okay, C double bond O NH, that bond is also called as amide bond or peptide bond. Okay, here peptide bond formation is there and stereochemistry of peptide bond is also there. Okay, this is one amino acid and this is the another amino acid. Okay, here this side is NH2 functional group and right side is COOH functional group. In another amino acid, this left side is NH2 group is there and right side COOH functional group is there. Here when these two amino acids comes together, loses water molecule. Okay, loses water molecule means here okay, here from carboxylic acid group hydroxy group and from amino group one hydrogen. Okay, loses hydroxy group from carboxylic acid functional group and hydrogen from amine group. Okay, totally loses water molecule and form bond between these two, carbon and nitrogen. Okay, C double bond O bond NH, this bond. Okay, here this is called as amide bond or peptide bond. Remaining all are same. Here loses water molecule. And this is the trans conformation of the peptide bond. Peptides and proteins. What are peptides and what are proteins? Okay, first, peptide, a short polymer of amino acids joined by peptide bonds. They are classified by the number of amino acids in the chain. Okay, based on number of amino acids present in that chain, these peptides also classified into dipeptides, tripeptides and polypeptides and then proteins. Okay, if dipeptide means a molecule containing two amino acids joined by a peptide bond, then that is called as dipeptide. Okay students, when two amino acids are combined each other and form one peptide chain, then that is called as dipeptide. Okay, a molecule containing two amino acids joined by peptide bond, that is called as dipeptide. Tripeptide means a molecule containing three amino acids joined by peptide bonds is called as tripeptide. Here 12 to 20 residues each unit of amino acids, that is called as oligopeptide. And next, polypeptide. Polypeptide means it is a macromolecule and it is containing many number of amino acids in linear polymer structure, then that is called as polypeptide. Amino acid monomers linked head to tail through the formation of peptide bond. Okay, polypeptide means this polypeptide chain is having, or this polypeptide chain is containing many number of amino acids. Next is a protein, a biological macromolecule of molecular weight 5000 grams per mole or greater than 5000, consisting of one or more polypeptide chains. Those compounds are called as proteins. Or simply we can say the polypeptide chain which is containing more than 50 number of amino acids is called as proteins. Or molecular weight, the which polypeptide chain is having more than 5000 molecular weight, then that is called as protein. Next, the amide bond. Some of the main properties of the amide bond is its low basicity, which is useful in purification, and its stability due to resonance. Okay, here this is C double bond O NH amide bond. This amide bond is having low basic nature, and this amide bond showing some stability due to resonance. Okay, this amide compound is also participates in resonance because nitrogen is having lone pair of electrons and oxygen is also having lone pair of electrons. From nitrogen, first lone pair of electron is shifted to carbon, then pi bond of carbon is shifted to oxygen, then oxygen will get negative charge and nitrogen will get positive charge. Due to this resonance, amide bond or amide group shows some stability. Basic amide synthesis is the reaction of a carboxylic acid and an amine with the loss of water. Here this is carboxylic acid and it is amine. Here loses water molecule and form amide. Since the free electrons of the nitrogen atom are tied up in forming partial double bond, nitrogen atom cannot accept a proton. This nitrogen also has a partial positive charge, which will repel protons and prevent them from binding to the nitrogen. Okay, here nitrogen is showing partially positive charge, and here uh, oxygen is showing partially negative charge. And peptide synthesis. The synthesis of a specific dipeptide, such as alanine glycine, from alanine and glycine is complicated because both amino acids have two functional groups. Okay, here the synthesis of a specific dipeptide. Here dipeptide between alanine and glycine, but these two amino acids have two different functional groups. As a result, four products, namely two between two alanines or one alanine one glycine. Okay, here dipeptide, possibility of dipeptide is here. Four possibilities are there. Dipeptide with two alanine molecules, or dipeptide with one alanine one glycine, or dipeptide with two glycines, and dipeptide with one glycine one alanine are possible. So here in dipeptide of two amino acids also, four products we can expect. Here from two amino acids, this is alanine and this is the glycine amino acid. Okay, when these two are combined, each other loses water molecule. First, two alanine dipeptide is formed. Okay, this is two alanine dipeptide, and second product is one alanine and one glycine dipeptide, and third is two glycines dipeptide is formed, and fourth is one glycine and one alanine dipeptide is possible. Okay, here peptide synthesis means here four possibilities are there. Next, the method can be applied to synthesis of tripeptides and even larger peptides. Here, N-protected dipeptide or carboxy-protected amino acid. Okay, here if the synthesis of tripeptide or even any larger peptides, that polypeptide chain is having head and tails, or two tails or two ends. That is, one side it is having N end and other side it is having C end. Okay, N end means that is the NH2 group is there, and C end means that is COOH functional group is present. Carboxy protected amino acid or N protected dipeptide. Here this is one amino acid, sorry, this is one peptide and this is another peptide. From the amide bond, here between these two new amide bond is formed. Okay, between these two compounds, between these two functional groups, here no new peptide bond or new amide bond is formed. Next, after removing both protecting groups, okay, here this is one protecting group. So after removing the protecting group, this amino acid, tripeptide amino acid, is showing one alanine, glycine and glycine. This is the tripeptide of alanine, glycine, glycine. means in this tripeptide one alanine is present and two molecules of glycine is present. Okay, this left side is called as N end and right side is the C end. Okay, N end means amino group end, C end means COOH group end. And next, analysis of the amino acid sequence. Analysis of amino acid sequence means these amino acids are formed peptides, polypeptides, like that. But here analysis of sequence is there, that is determine the number of polypeptide chains and determine the number of disulfide bonds and determine the amino acid composition of each polypeptide chain. If subunits are too large, fragment them into shorter polypeptide chains. Determine the amino acid sequence of each fragment using the Edman degradation method. Okay, here analysis of amino acids means we can analyze the number of polypeptide chains and number of disulfide bonds and composition of polypeptide chain. Okay, composition of amino acid also, and determine the amino acid sequence each fragment using the Edman degradation method. And end group analysis, number of chains can be determined by identifying the number of N and C terminal. Okay, already we have discussed that N end and C end. Another name is N terminal or C terminal ends. N terminal means if the end is having NH2 group, then that is called as N terminal. If the end is having COOH group, then that is called as C terminal group. N terminal analysis, dancyl chloride and phenyl isothiocyanate, that is Edman reagent, and aminopeptidase. By using of these chemicals or these reagents, we can identify the N terminal analysis. And C terminal analysis means carboxypeptidase. By using of carboxypeptidase, we can identify the C terminal end. Okay students, this is about amino acids reactions, properties of amino acids. Okay, so once again we will discuss briefly today's session. Okay, first is the zwitterion. Zwitterion means amino acid is showing positive charge and negative charge at same compound. Okay, both the NH2 and COOH groups in an amino acid undergo ionization in water, and this zwitterion pH value is 7.4 and both charges are present, positive and negative charges are present. Overall zwitterionic form is neutral. Okay, in zwitterion form, amino group is protonated group. Amino acid get into protonated and form NH3 plus, and carboxyl group is deprotonated and form COO minus group. Acid base properties of amino acids. Okay, here this amino acid is showing cationic form, anionic form and neutral form. In cationic form, amino group is protonated and form NH3 plus, that is called as cationic form. The pH value is 1. In anionic form, COOH group is get into deprotonated and form COO minus, that shows basic nature, so pH value is more than 7. And neutral molecule is having both charges COO minus and NH3 plus, so that is called as zwitterionic form. Here in this zwitterionic form, the amino acid is neutral. pH value is exactly 7. Reactions of amino acids. Amino acids will undergo reactions characteristics of the amino and carboxyl groups. Here, reactions due to carboxyl group. First, ester formation with alcohols and amide formation with amines. And reactions due to NH2 group. Here, ninhydrin reagent reaction is there. Ninhydrin reagent reacts with amino group of amino acid, and its yielding is colored product. Detecting of amino acids or detecting amino acids, ninhydrin is the classical reagent for detecting amino acids. A reaction requires 2 to 5 minutes at 100 degrees centigrade temperature, is sensitive at the nano level. So here ninhydrin react with amino acid and form Raman's purple colored compound. The absorbance value is 570 nanometers. Peptides and proteins. Generally in the formation of proteins, 20 amino acids are 20 amino acids will participate. These 20 amino acids are linked together and form peptide bonds. Those are called as peptides and proteins. If the chain containing less than 50 amino acids, then that is called as peptide. If the chain is containing more than 50 amino acids, then that is called as protein. This peptide bond is the amide bond. This amide bond forms between carboxyl group and amino group. Here peptide bond is there, amino acid, one amino acid and two amino acid. Okay. Here in peptide bond, carboxylic acid functional group of one amino acid and amino functional group of another amino acid will participate in peptide bond formation. Okay, here these two functional groups loses water molecule and form bond between C double bond O and NH, that is called as amide bond or peptide bond. And peptides and proteins. Peptide means what? Amino acids combine together, loses water molecule and form peptides. Here, based on number of amino acids, these peptides are classified into dipeptide. Dipeptide means if two amino acids are participates in peptide bond formation, then that is called as dipeptide. Tripeptide means if three amino acids are combined together and form peptide, then that is called as tripeptide. Polypeptide means many number of amino acids combined with each other through the peptide bonds, then the chain is called as polypeptide. Okay, proteins means what? The polypeptide chains are called as proteins, but the polypeptide chain which is having molecular weight more than 5000, then that chain is called as protein. The amide bond. Some of the main properties of the amide bond is its low basicity and it shows some stability due to the resonance. And peptide synthesis. The synthesis of a specific dipeptide such as alanine glycine from alanine and glycine is complicated because both amino acids have two functional groups. So here when alanine and glycine react with each other, there is possibility to form four different types of dipeptides, that is between two alanines or one alanine, one glycine, or two glycines, or one glycine, one alanine, or possible dipeptides. Okay, here structures are also there: alanine alanine structure, alanine glycine structure, glycine glycine structure, and glycine alanine structure. Okay, four different types of dipeptides are possible here. And peptide synthesis, the method can be applied to synthesis of tripeptides, even larger peptides also. Okay, here for example we can prepare tripeptide. One dipeptide react with uh, one amino acid and form tripeptides. Okay, here N terminal and C terminal ends are there. N protected dipeptide here and carboxy protected amino group here. Okay, these two participates in reaction and form one tripeptide. Okay, here the tripeptide is alanine glycine tripeptide. And analysis of the amino acid sequence, determine number of polypeptide chains, determine number of disulfide bonds, determine the amino acid composition of each polypeptide chain. If subunits are too large, fragment them into shorter polypeptide chains. Determine the amino acid sequence of each fragment using the Edman degradation method. Okay, here end group analysis is there. Number of chains can be determined by identifying the number of N and C terminal ends. N terminal analysis is based on dancyl chloride, phenyl isocyanate, that is Edman reagent, and aminopeptidase. And C terminal analysis will occur by carboxypeptidase. Okay students, this is about today's session. Hope you understood. Thank you.